With the release of Secrets of Strixhaven, we have a lot of new interesting commanders. There are the face and secondary commanders from the new precons, which all look great and seem pretty strong. We have the 5 founder dragons, which all look very powerful and I'm sure will be highly played. However, the commander that I was most interested in was a mono red uncommon, and we will be talking about him today. Mica, Reader of Ruins, is a 4/4 human artificer that costs 3 and a red with Ward, pay 3 life, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Compared to many other new legendaries from this set, this uncommon doesn't seem that amazing on the surface, but I think he enables a very fun and strong playstyle. There are a lot of artifacts that want to go to the graveyard and have effects that trigger when they enter and leave. Solemn Simulacrum is probably the most well known, but there are a lot of these types of artifacts, such as Nimblerite Schematic and Ichor Wellspring. Unlike Sad Robot, these artifacts are not creatures, and usually it is more difficult to get them into the graveyard to trigger their death effects. But with Mica, these offer great value as well as copying a spell for you. One thing to note with copying spells, when you copy a spell, you're not casting it, so any additional cost to cast it don't need to be paid for the copy. So cards like Thrill of Possibility and Unexpected Windfall see you discarding a single card to then draw 4, and also create 4 treasures in the case of Unexpected Windfall. After sacrificing artifacts to copy our draw spells, we can finish off the game by copying a Cracker with Power or Comet Storm. Another note on copying spells, you copy the X value as well, so you can end the game in style with a massive explosion, or 2. Our commander costs 4 mana to cast, so we want some ramp to get them out and start copying spells. Iron Mare and Ornithopter of Paradise are both artifacts and mana dorks that also can be sacrificed after tapping them for mana. Arcane Signet, Sol Ring, Ruby Medallion, and Tablet of Discovery are our mana rocks. We are also running Liquimetal Talk as another rock and as an edge case to turn one of our few non-artifact permanents into an artifact in a pinch. We can also generate a lot of treasures with our rummage spells and creatures dying, so we'll bring Zorn as well to get more value out of those effects. As I mentioned before, copying rummaging style draw spells only needs us to discard 1 card to draw 4, so we will be bringing a lot of them, especially the ones that give us treasures. So, Thrill of Possibility, demand answers, and grab the prize for cheaper options to start digging. Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, Seize the Spoils, and Pirate's Pillage to draw a lot of cards and generate a lot of treasures. So all the creatures in this deck will either be artifacts, generate artifacts, or interact with artifacts. Cards like Clockwork Percussionist, Picky Bank, and Gleaming Wall can act as chump blockers and reward us with treasures. Professional Facebreaker, Loyal Apprentice, and Stride Hanger Automaton are here to generate additional artifacts. Treasure Nabber is great when it's likely at least one opponent will have a Sol Ring out at any given time. He can also act as a deterrent for using them, or alternatively, you can promise your opponents not to sacrifice their artifacts so he doesn't get removed on the spot, as I have experienced. Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder are both great to recur your artifacts, as recurring a Servo Schematic or a Mouser Foundry will usually leave you net positive artifacts. Goblin Engineer is also great to help tutor Twinning Staff to your graveyard, as this is by far the best option, but also risky. If your Engineer gets removed before you can get the Twinning Staff out of your graveyard, you might have to leave it there all game. While Ward Pay 3 Life will deter some players, we need some protection for our commander, so we are running Bolt Bend and Redirect Lightning. We are also running Swiftfoot Boots as well. We opt to forgo Lightning Greaves as we will want to be able to target our commander with cards like Bulk Up and Unleash Fury. These will enable an unexpectedly huge surprise hit from a commander by doubling its power twice, as well as potentially setting up a game ender with Chandra's Ignition being copied. Speaking of game enders, like I mentioned before, when copying spells you copy the X value, so Cracker with Power, Jaya's Immolating Inferno, and Comet Storm are great spells to end the game with after generating a lot of treasures. Another way to get the mana needed to blow up the table is by copying rituals such as Pyretic Ritual and Desperate Ritual. So the strength of this commander is its ability to dig through your deck to find the answers you need. As long as you start with an artifact to sacrifice and a rummage spell, hopefully you can draw into more draw spells and artifacts until you have a game-winning hand. A lot of the strength of this deck is its ability to explode with nothing more than your commander and a few servos on the field. Because of this, even though your opponents will have an idea of what you are trying to do, when they look at the board state to determine the threat, it'll be hard to paint you as the problem compared to other opponents' more established board states. This, however, does not mean you can just sit there and expect opponents not to interact with you. Having your commander removed will set you back a lot and will be a very easy way to deal with you without investing a lot. Also, eating stray board wipes meant for your opponents will really hurt as well. Also, having, say, 10 plus treasures sitting on the board will make you very scary, even if you have nothing else on the field. In conclusion, Mica, Reader of Ruins is a fun and explosive commander that also plays very thematically. He spends the game practicing archaeology, digging for treasures and artifacts in order to find the win. I recommend this deck if you like drawing cards and building to end the game in one turn. If you've played this commander, please let me know if you've built it differently. Also, please let me know if you want to see a build for a specific commander from Secrets of Strixhaven, or any other commander for that matter. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and thank you for watching.